Hi, my name is Steve Pruner, and this is my business, Outlaw Hot Dogs. It's a business that's low cost, easy to start, but difficult to get through the regulatory process. When I first started this business, I called it
Steve Pruner is fighting for his right to work. The North Carolina General Statutes state in part, the right to live includes the right to work. The exercise of the right to work must be protected and maintained, free from undue restraints and coercion.
Mustard, chili, and ketchup.
Further, the North Carolina Constitution states in the section entitled, "The Equality and Rights of Persons," we hold it to be self-evident that all persons are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these is the enjoyment of the fruits of their own labor. Steve has long argued that current requirements that he must meet to maintain his business as a food truck vendor are unreasonable and unconstitutional. Among these unconstitutional requirements is something called a commissary agreement. You see, in order to get a business license or health inspection, Steve, like other food cart operators, would have to enter into a commissary agreement with a restaurant so that he would use the restaurant for food storage and preparation.
Okay, here you go. That'll be $4.50.
Mr. Pruner next showed us his home, where he does his setup, breakdown, and cleanup. He also stores his food and beverages at his home rather than the commissary.
Here's my little storage area space here. I store my extra pots and pans and things I use in the summertime and extra chips. So it has its own little space. Now this is my home kitchen. Isn't this place so much cooler? Cleaner, easier to deal with, much more user-friendly. Okay, so
Mr. Pruner showed us his kitchen, where he stores and prepares the hot dogs he sells. But, by statute, a restaurant or permitted commercial commissary must be used as a base of operations for a pushcart or mobile food unit. According to the North Carolina General Statutes, pushcarts or mobile food units shall operate in conjunction with a permitted restaurant or commissary and shall report at least daily to the restaurant or commissary for supplies, cleaning, and servicing. A signed agreement with the commissary must be presented in order to obtain a permit and to have the food cart inspected. Steve's case isn't about the conditions of his kitchen or food cart. He can't even get an inspection. Putting hot dogs and condiments in his home refrigerator versus a commissary refrigerator doesn't change anything about the storage of the food. Both refrigerators are operational. Both serve their intended purpose.
In the fridge. Boiler for the dog. So these are essentially all the dishes that I have to wash, besides any spoons or anything I use in preparation. So this is really not very many pots and pans. It's handled quite well in a double sink stainless steel sink with a dishwasher to sterilize anything I need to be sterilized. I hardly need an entire commercial kitchen to wash 6 pots and pans. So that's it. That's what it takes to be a hot dog vendor. It's pretty easy. It's not rocket science. I think that we can let our citizens do this by themselves. We don't really need the government to tell us what to do in this case. Just come and inspect my cart. My cart's not clean, then fine, take me off. But don't tell me I gotta wash my pans in some stranger's kitchen. You really don't need it. I think we're big grown-ups here. We don't need the government telling us, micromanaging our businesses. And by the way, if it wasn't for the government, I could start 2 more hot dog carts tomorrow. I'll show you one of them right now. Let's go look.
Steve has 2 extra hot dog carts that he could use to hire extra workers for his business, but he cannot meet the unreasonable and unconstitutional requirements necessary to get a business license. Not only can he not put himself back to work legally, but he cannot hire 2 other people. That's 2 more people out of work.
I can't put a person to work working this cart, so it just sits here rotting away. I have another cart in storage that I built. It's in storage in my storage shed. It's a smaller push cart. That's a second cart and a second job where somebody could be working. And I tell you that people out on the street, they're hungry for hot dogs. I have plenty of locations where I can put extra carts. Because of the stupid commissary agreement, the health department will not inspect my carts. They refuse to inspect my carts. Not that I don't want them inspected. I'm happy to have them come out and inspect my carts to make sure they're clean and sanitary. But if they refuse to inspect my carts because I don't have a commissary agreement, that's a ban or a bar to business. And that's a restriction that I cannot overcome.
My name is Jeanette Doran. I'm the Executive Director and General Counsel of the North Carolina Institute for Constitutional Law. We're representing Steve, who you met earlier in this video, and we're doing it because we believe Steve, and everyone else across our great state, has the right to work free from unnecessary and unconstitutional regulations. We're fighting, not just for Steve, but for freedom and fairness for all North Carolina.